Baruch hu Adonai hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'charbanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'ela hamashpatim asher tasim lifnehem ki tikne eved ivris sheish shanim yavod uva shavit yatzei lahav shehinam im bagapo yavo bagapo yetzei im baal ishahu v'yatsa yishto imo im adonav yitain lo isha v'yalda V'yalda lo vanim et vanod haisha v'ladecha tichel adonecha v'hu yetzei v'agapo v'imamur yomor ha'eved ahavti et adoni et ishti v'et benai lo yetzei hafshi Vahigisho Adonav El HaElohim, Vahigisho Al Hadeled, O Al Hamazuzah, Vratzadonav Et Azno B'Martseya V'Yavado Le'olam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natah b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Pastor Kloss? We have a full room today, and a lot of that is because of you. So today, we're celebrating Debbie. We're going to hear a lot of wonderful words about you later on today as well. But as I was flipping through some of our foundational texts, I came across one that seems to define a whole lot of what you do. So we say, one of the first texts we read in the morning when we say our Torah blessing, La'asok b'divrei Torah, we follow that up with verses from Torah and verses from Talmud, and verses from Torah and Talmud and Mishnah. And the verse from Talmud, the first text that we say in the morning about why do we study this Torah at all, is a text that seems to define a lot of what you do. So it's Elu devarim she'adam ochel perotehem. These are the deeds that yield immediate fruit and continue to yield fruit in olam haba, in the world to come. So these are the things that are worthwhile here and that you're going to, you and your children's children are going to enjoy forever. Honoring our parents, doing deeds of loving kindness, attending the house of study punctually morning and evening, providing hospitality, visiting the sick, helping the needy bride, attending to the deceased, probing the meaning of prayer, making peace between one person and another, and between husband and wife, and the study of Torah is the most basic of all. And thinking about, for those who know Debbie, how many things from this list do you do on a daily basis? Right? You are the central person, one of the central people in our synagogue, making sure that the deceased are taken care of. You go to the legacy and to anyone's home you know is really needs that extra attendance, and you do that visiting. You study Torah punctually. You make sure that you're at every Torah study session that you know is interesting to you. Right? You help the needy. Right? You probe the meaning of everything that we do. And so thank you for being there for all of us, really being there for all of us and finding those places where we have those needs both personally and communally. We see the fruits of that, and I hope that you, in your everyday life, see the fruits of that, and I know that your kids and your children's children will see the fruits of that as well. So we'll say a Mishaberach for you. A Mishaberach for being called to the Torah today and for honoring us with your presence. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Vivotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Yivarech et Dvorah bat Baruch HaKohen v'Chana Esther She'alta hayom lichvod hamakom v'lichvod haTorah v'lichvod haShabbat HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmor otah ואת כל משפחתה, וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיה, עם כל ישראל, אחיה ואחיותיה, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Debbie, who has ascended today to honor God and the Torah, Shabbat, and our community. May the Holy Blessed One protect her and her entire family, bring blessing and success to all the works of her hands, together with all of her fellow Jews, and let us say amen.
Amen.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yasher Koach, you may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce, while we have so many of Debbie's friends and family here, it's my pleasure to introduce some of the people who are going to be speaking in her honor today. So we are going to start out with Marilyn and Linda. Then Debbie's daughter Laura will be speaking. And then I believe somebody here is going to be speaking for Ari Clara, who couldn't be here. Also Laura. So we'll hear from Marilyn and Linda, then we'll hear from Laura. So come on up.
Welcome to the Debbie Wills Volunteer of the Month quiz. Today, we're honoring someone whose volunteer resume is longer than most of our Shabbat announcements. Linda and I will ask and answer some questions and invite you to play along. Don't worry, there are no wrong answers because Debbie has already done all the work. Let's start at the beginning, her roots. Linda, in what city and state was Debbie born and raised?
I know she's a southern girl. Jackson, Mississippi. You know, in those southern roots, maybe that's where she got her southern hospitality.
Linda. What year did Debbie and John join CBT?
Well, I know it was before us because she was already a household name when we came. According to the Beth Torah records, 1984.
Some people join a synagogue. Debbie helped build one. Linda, which two CBT executive team positions has Debbie held?
Well, I know for a fact membership and education VP, because when I was president, she was my education VP.
And why choose just one way to lead? Linda, which CBT committees has Debbie chaired or co-chaired?
I know it's almost all of them, but let me see if I can get them. Youth, Grief Circle, CBT Cares, Hever Kadisha, Leadership Development, Membership, Preschool Learning Center, and has served on the Beit Din for several conversions. Did I get them all?
Yeah, which ones has she not chaired? In addition, she helps cooking on special occasions, cleaning up when she can on Shabbat mornings, and she's a regular visitor to the homebound and sick people in the community. Which membership demographic did Debbie significantly help grow?
Well, I was fortunate to be on the board with Debbie at that time. The under 30 young professionals, Debbie had a great idea to offer complimentary memberships to get them involved, which really helped.
Because Debbie doesn't just welcome people in, she makes sure they stay.
So Marilyn, now it's my turn to ask you some fun facts about Debbie. Well, we already gave the answer earlier today during Torah service, but is Debbie a Kohen, Levi, or Israelite?
We know that she is a Kohen.
Which proves that leadership is really in her DNA. Okay, Marilyn, you know this one. When did Debbie participate in a bat mitzvah ceremony, and who from that class is still a member of Beth Torah?
Okay, the CBT adult B'nai Mitzvah class, which I was pleasure to share with you, was in 1996, and the people who are still members, besides me, Ray Koch, Magdi Ola, and Robin Popik.
Which proves that going through an adult B'nai Mitzvah proves that Jewish learning doesn't stop at 13.
Right.
Okay, what are Debbie's hobbies outside of volunteering at Beth Torah?
Cooking, helping care for her 4 grandchildren.
5.
Oh, 5 grandchildren.
So,
Sorry, we
what-
got a new one.
When we wrote this, the first time we were supposed to do this, it was 4, now it's 5. I
Right,
forgot to
fine.
change it
Thank
on yours.
you.
I changed it on mine.
She also plays pickleball. She studies Musar. She's in a women's investment group, and she is big into love and logic. And yes, she's always the first one to show up with a home-cooked meal.
Yeah. So we all know and are learning what Debbie still does for Beth Torah, but do you know what Debbie did professionally before she retired?
She was an occupational therapist.
Which explains why she instinctively helps all of us get better. Okay, we know that Debbie is married to John, but where did they meet?
I believe it was Medical College of Georgia, and they were both students.
And where did Debbie attend undergrad?
University of Texas at Austin.
There go the hook 'em horns, right?
Hook 'em horns.
All right. I did not go to UT, but UT. However, what sorority was Debbie a part of at UT?
SDT, Sigma Delta Tau.
Yellow Roses Forever.
Jewish Sisterhood, early training.
You may notice when you go out to the Oneg, what is Debbie's favorite dessert?
We all know that. Chocolate.
Yes, Debbie's favorite is chocolate, even though she's sweet enough without chocolate. And our final question, what would Beth Torah do without Debbie Wills?
Lose a trusted friend, leader, mentor, guide, support system, and one of the most caring people we know.
And
But
thankfully, we don't have to. Today, as we honor our dear friend Debbie Wills, she's a woman who truly embodies chesed, loving kindness in everything she does. She's guided by compassion, fueled by a deep commitment to helping others, and always looking for ways to strengthen our community.
Grounded in her Judaism, she lives her values every day. She understands that tikkun alone, repairing the world, is not just a lofty idea meant for someone else to do. It is a daily responsibility. And judging by her calendar, her to-do list, her kitchen, she takes that responsibility very seriously.
Debbie is constantly striving to grow, spiritually, personally, and communally. And she knows you can't be your best self without giving to others. Debbie finds fulfillment in uplifting those around her, often being the first person to say, "I've got it," usually followed by, "and I'll bring food."
In fact, if there were a mitzvah for home-cooked meals delivered at just the right moment, she'd already have the lifetime achievement status. Her home is open, her heart is open, her generosity reminds us all what it truly means to live a life of purpose.
Through Debbie's action, she shows us all that Judaism isn't just something we study. It's something we live. We are all better for her presence, her kindness, and her example. It is an honor for us to recognize her today as our Volunteer of the Month. And since Debbie brings chicken soup to everybody else, this won't spill, I promise. We're sharing some chicken soup with Debbie in your spare time.
In my spare time. Thank you. Oh, very nice. Thank you.
It's chicken soup for the Women's Soul Book.
Good morning. For those that don't know me, my name is Laura, and I am Debbie's oldest daughter. I'm going to start by reading some words that Austin Clark, who has recently changed his name to Ari Clark, wrote in my mom's honor. This is what he wrote. We all know the adage, it takes a village to raise a child. And for many, Debbie Wills was and is a significant figure in this manner. And for myself in particular, she is the most important and influential person of the village beyond my immediate family who raised me. I want to acknowledge and honor and thank her from the deepest part of my well of gratitude for being like a second mother to myself and many of us at Congregation Beth Torah, whether we arrived here as a child or as an adult. Debbie is both innately and deeply practiced at emotionally supporting and help grow people's, children and adults alike, hearts and minds, and our community benefits from her influence in this way in an immeasurable amount. We are an emotionally healthier and stronger tribe for her being who she is to all of us. This weekend, as we honor her for Volunteer Shabbat, for her impossible to count hours of efforts and contributions to Congregation Beth Torah programming, cooking, and cleaning and services, and the like, I want her to know that, and I'm certain I speak for many of us, her loving influence goes beyond these things. We know that the reason she does all of these practical jobs is that she knows that it takes a village to raise a village, and the incredible amount of energy, hard work, and dedication that she has put into our community over the years was not only for the then, is not only for the now, but for the future of Congregation Beth Torah as our younger generations and newer members eventually take on the roles and tasks she has over the years. But there's no replacing your mother or your second one. I love you so much, Debbie. Thank you for everything you've done and continue to do for us. From Austin, newly Ari Clark. These are the words that I wrote. I don't remember a time when my mom wasn't involved with Congregation Beth Torah. Our family joined the synagogue in 1984, as we recently learned, shortly after my parents moved to Dallas with me in tow. I was born in 1983, so I was just a baby, and since my memory doesn't go back that far, I guess I'm taking everyone else's word for it. Mom has worn so many hats, filled so many roles, and volunteered for so many committees, and served on so many occasions here at Congregation Beth Torah. In addition to serving on the board and the executive board, she has had a plethora of unofficial jobs to boot. She has especially contributed to Congregation Beth Torah in the areas of membership, youth activities, and education. Before she retired, as we learned earlier, she was an occupational therapist. And I am also an occupational therapist, so she's just like me. I mean, I'm just like her. But her life is still so full. She continues to use her occupational therapy expertise to help those she knows live lives to the fullest. And her 5 grandchildren, who call her Gigi, are aged 3 months to 6.5 years old, and they keep her very busy. Not to mention her 5 kids, the 3 grown children and their 2 spouses. Yet somehow she still makes plenty of time to volunteer here at Congregation Beth Torah. Currently, a few of the things that she does at Congregation Beth Torah include serving on the cemetery committee, heading the women's Hever Kadisha, preparing the deceased for burial according to Jewish law and tradition, co-leading the grief circle with Marilyn Guzik, sometimes helping on Shabbat Saturday mornings with cleanup. Last year, she led the laughter yoga and breathing parts of the sisterhood workshop on mind, body, and soul. And most recently, she's begun to head up the leadership development committee. And last but certainly not least, she's always willing to answer requests for feedback when she is asked regarding various committees or roles, and even sometimes when she isn't asked. So that's my mom, Mamala, Gigi, Debbie Wills.
That's a lot. Wow. I'm a little speechless, sorry. Well, first of all, I want to thank Rabbi for her beautiful words this morning. Thank you, they're beautiful. And I want to thank Mindy Sue and the entire membership team for this honor that I've gotten today. And to thank everyone here in the sanctuary, but also I know a lot of people have told me they were going to be on streaming today, so I want to acknowledge that and thank you for sharing this special moment with me. And of course, thanks to Marilyn and Linda and Ari and Laura for your sweet, sweet words. There are so many people at CBT who definitely deserve this recognition and have been integral to the life and the spirit of our synagogue. I am truly humbled, and I hope that each of them has been and will soon be honored. And I just want to add that I was so happy to hear that I'd be sharing this day with Laura Halper, who's, as you heard, a very, very special volunteer of herself. I also want to thank John and my children and their spouses for always supporting me in all the volunteering and everything I do, and to my grandchildren, Goldie, Benny, Sammy, Yaakov, and Annie, for always adding joy and laughter to my life, even on the most challenging days. Many years ago, after we wrapped up a very successful bowl-a-thon fundraiser for the youth, right, Rhonda? I went to visit my dad, and he asked, "So how'd it go?" I said, "Really well, Dad. We made a lot of money, and everything went smoothly." He smiled and nodded and said, "Well, that's good news and bad news." I said, "Bad news, Dad?" He replied, "Yes, because now they're going to ask you to do it again." And of course they did. My dad was very wise. Although my children may not believe this, I wasn't always outgoing. CBT gave me a place, a true community, where I could get involved and feel like I belong and make a difference. To anyone who's thinking about volunteering at CBT, please know this. While you may give your time and your energy, what you receive in return is so much greater. You'll receive and gain a deep sense of belonging and connection, a sense of fulfillment, and a joy of contributing to something that is meaningful to all of us, our community here at CBT. And you will gain a lot of good friends. Thank you all for giving me this honor and for being here to share this with me. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Mazal Tov, Debbie, on being our volunteer this month. I'm looking forward to hearing more stories about Debbie's volunteerism during our Kiddush lunch, but for